Yes, another day closer to football season. Dale, good afternoon, sir. This is our officially second episode where we are unfortunately not in the same room recording, but you look great. How you feeling?
No, I'm doing good. So I started training camp for myself as well. This morning I got up, went to the corner store, got myself a breakfast sandwich, my coffee, and all my other essentials for the day. I'm treating this weekend kind of like a training camp for myself. Next
Yeah.
weekend I have the bachelor party. So yeah, I'm not feeling great today though. My throat, I woke up not feeling that great. So we're going to go positive vibes that I am not getting sick. So we'll see.
Yes. I like that you said preseason. So, as everyone knows, we have a pretty good NFL show today. We're gonna do a lot of odds, kind of catch up as well. Be a little longer form conversation. Dale, really fast though, before we get into the pros, I think you're a little happy this morning. We're not going to spend too much time on this, but not only is this the last Saturday, what is the date today? It is August
August
21st.
21st.
The last Saturday without college football until about, I think, like the second week of January. Your favorite team. I don't, was it a contested, heated quarterback battle? Who won it? Are you excited?
Listen. Listen, at Ohio State, everything's contested, everything's heated. There's 5 stars, 4 stars everywhere. All these kids want to go to the league.
Yeah.
So you have to show up every day. But yes, quarterback competition. QB1 was announced today. CJ Stroud, welcome to the Ohio State starting lineup. I told you this a while ago. I thought CJ Stroud was the best man for the job this year. Quinn Ewers entered camp a couple days ago, so he's been getting some reps. He's obviously not ready. He should only be a senior in high school. Kyle McCord's a true freshman. People are saying that he pushed him hard, so I would like him to redshirt as well. But listen, Will, in the future, we're going to have big quarterback competition between Quinn Ewers and Kyle McCord, so that'll be interesting to watch in a couple of years. But for now, CJ Stroud is going to lead the Ohio State University to another playoff appearance this year. Let's go.
Mark it down. I mean, you could have made up all those names. I would have had no idea who it is, but I'm excited for Big Ten week. You guys are probably going to run away. So for those of you that don't know, we've been teasing Big Ten week with our other buddy Joe, who is a notable alumni and diehard fan from Penn State. Him and Dale have had some heated exchanges, whether it's in public at a bar or on the boardwalk, or I think we ran into him at 7-Eleven one time. Big Ten week. It'll be something to look out for. I'm excited. But Dale, man, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. There's only 3 preseason games. We have a 17 game season. I don't know, Halloween-ish, maybe Veterans Day. I'll be like, okay, you know what? We have an extra game. I'd at least for the month of September, I'm going to just assume 16-week schedule, and it still has to kick in for me.
Yeah, same, for sure. Speaking of kicking in, this coffee hasn't really kicked in yet. I need it to. But no, you're right. The 17 games, extra game, it'll be interesting, but I think we're going to like it. It'll be just an extra week of fantasy, extra week getting to sit on the couch with the boys, smoking some meat, gambling. I'm all about it. The preseason, have you noticed that the preseason seems like the games are forever in between?
Yeah, so I was talking with another person this week, and they had this kind of ridiculous narrative where they were like, should we do away with preseason? Because, Kyler Murray was bitching about it, saying that, it doesn't count. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have Tom Brady, who's in year 48 of the NFL. And he prepares as if it's his rookie year, So there's varying distinctions between, I think, age groups. But I do agree, specifically Hard Knocks. We saw the second episode. It really wasn't the best. I think at this point, everyone, now that Dak's not in, I mean, he's really the star, literally, of that team. But I do feel like it's dragging on. But I don't want to do away with it. One, because
me either.
I always look forward to the first 2 weeks. You got to get the gambling football bug back in you. You're so used to baseball, basketball. For this summer, it was the Olympics. Next year, it'll be soccer maybe or whatever. I like it, but it has dragged on. But what's great about it, I mean, you look at the diamonds of the rough, and that's been said 100 times. Are you for it? Are you okay giving those guys that are fringe type roster players that need those reps. They need that exposure.
No, the preseason's needed. I mean, how else are you going to get some continuity? Find out who the back end of your bench is going to be, who your special teams guys are going to be. And a lot of these coaches, a lot of these coaches are doing it right too. You know what you have in some players, so if you don't want to risk it, don't risk it. If players feel like they need a couple reps, live game reps to get ready, feel more prepared, give it to them. If not, oh well. Like, injuries are part of this game. Every single time someone gets hit, it's a fucking car accident. So why you can't be surprised if someone gets hurt playing this game. It happens. You can't play the game feared. So if people think they need reps to get ready, give them the reps. If not, see a week 1.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that we've seen that specifically. I would say like a good example is like the Patriots. You look back when Tom Brady was still there. Like their first month of September looks like preseason. Like how many times have we heard at the end of September? It's like, oh, is this Tom Brady's last year? Is this like And I really feel like October-ish is when teams are like, okay, we know who's legit. These teams are rounding into shape. Like, I'm curious about like Aaron Rodgers, like him not working out all summer. Apparently he's the greatest training camp quarterback of all time. But with the spread attack now, no one really runs the ball. So it's just stopping clock and they're just bored. I mean, it was hilarious because I think, Micah Parsons said in episode 1 on Hard Knocks, he did like the math equation of the conversion chart of how long he was going to end up just sitting on his ass. And that's the case for all these players. But September 9th, Thursday, I'm excited. Dale, let's shift now to what we kind of wanted to start talking today. As much as I want to stare at your pretty face and everything, alarm's going off too. So
I'm up, man. I'm up.
That's Dale's alarm to wake up. I've been up since 5 a.m. Dale, on the other hand, no, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I went to bed early last night, but I just knew that I had to be up by now.
Let's look at the gambling side of this. So,
we'll start AFC West.
You want to go AFC West? Okay.
Yeah, let's start there.
Quick outline for everyone. We're going to look at some odds. We're going to look at who's favorites to win probably the division, Super Bowl we like, maybe a sleeper. We're not going to spend too much, like the NFC East, we do not spend a lot of time on. So let's get right into it. Dale Civ, the AFC West. Now, I'm not surprised at this at all. I think we saw this even 5 minutes after the Super Bowl ended earlier this year. Even though they lost, Kansas City's at plus 450 to not only get back to the Super Bowl for a third straight year, potentially, that they're going to win it. Now,
they're minus 500 to win the division.
Now that's extremely
expensive. How does that make you feel? Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Let me rephrase that. They're minus 500 from the opening. Bovada has them a minus 275. Second place, the Bovada has Denver and the Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego County.
No, San Diego Chargers.
San Diego Chargers of Los Angeles. Sorry. Will cares. It still strikes a nerve. And then last is Vegas at plus 1,600, which honestly makes sense.
Yeah. You have Mahomes who he's had an interesting offseason. He signs a $500 million deal. He's like in the Mike Trout neighborhood of money. He had foot surgery. He had a kid. He's played in golf tournaments. I think I just have to pencil him in, even though it's tough because you look at the Chargers. We've talked about this extensively. Year 2 experiment of Justin Herbert, a year of film now. Defensive coordinators are going to have time to scheme and pick up tendencies and patterns. Yep. Plus 3,300. That's something I would consider teasing. And the thing about this coming up season, it's following a pandemic season with no fans. They're not going to have any fans, obviously.
Who?
And I think the Chargers will. Like that's what I've.
Oh yeah, they don't have fans.
No, it's.
I was going to say I'm going to the Browns Chargers games, and we had that conversation. Will there be more Browns fans or Chargers fans? Oh,
I'm wagering Cleveland by a mile. I mean, that's without a doubt. So, anyways, let's wrap it up really fast. Can you disagree? Is there any other Denver isn't doing anything, and then you have the Raiders who are just kind of in no man's land.
The Raiders are the best first half of the regular season team that I have ever seen. I think. They can compete with anybody. They beat the Browns last year. They beat the Chiefs in the first half.
Beat the Saints.
Yeah, why can't they put a season together? If they could put a full season together, that's the one team that I feel like on any given Sunday can beat literally anybody in the league.
Yeah, I agree. Is it the chemistry between Gruden and Carr? Is it
just Carr? Can we call a spade? Is it just Carr?
I don't think it's Carr.
You don't think it's Carr?
Honestly, I think in a different system, which
you've watched Carr a lot more than me. That's why I ask.
I think he's a serviceable QB. I think with the new change of scenery, almost like an Alex Smith situation, if you were to go to the right team that fits the right system, that has a good organization, I think
Yeah.
it could be good. I think there's just a lot of, and they're young too. That's another thing. Remember like Hard Knocks a couple years ago? I mean, other than like the Antonio Brown debacle, all of their players, all their rosters is what, under 26 years old. So the lack of experience, I think that attributes to it too.
No, for sure. But to answer your question, I think that the AFC West is going to go something like this. Chiefs are going to win it. Chargers are going to come in second. Denver will come in third. And I think the Las Vegas Raiders will come in last place.
Yeah, I like that. I would just switch. I think Denver finishes in last. Everyone's hyped up during the preseason. I'm seeing highlights of Drew Lock. Apparently, he's rediscovered himself. And Teddy Bridgewater, which is crazy. I mean, years ago, we thought, oh, he's the next heir to like Fran Tarkenton in Minnesota. Has that gruesome knee injury, bounces around. I'd flip that. I mean, do you think...
I just think Denver's defense is going to be too good to be in last place.
That's fair. That's fair. Would you consider wagering money on Mahomes to win MVP?
No, I don't think he's going to win it this year. I think there's too many people in contract years that are going to come out and ball this year.
Okay. Let's transition. Let's go up north. So before we get into your brownies, you have what? Baltimore's listed at plus 1,400. What's interesting about this, you have Lamar who won an MVP. I mean, it seems like 10 years ago, but it was only 2 seasons ago. Very, very well-run organization. But I hate to bring this in because this has happened now and it's been, a headline twice during the offseason. And unfortunately, if he doesn't, get stabbed and get the vaccine, this could be a controversy during the season. I mean, is that going to be a distraction, you think, with Lamar? We know that he has the talent in the world. You face them twice a year. You've seen them throughout your life. Can they carry this? Because if I'm wagering money, I don't know if I'm hanging around you too much and sipping a lot of the Browns Kool-Aid. I think I might still lean towards Baltimore.
So Baltimore, according to Bovada, is the favorites to win the AFC North, obviously at plus 115. Browns are second at plus 140. Pittsburgh is plus 400. And then Cincinnati, a measly plus 2,200. Listen, I think Baltimore's really good. I do. I just don't know how sold I am on Lamar still past the regular season. I think that Baltimore and Cleveland are going to have 2 incredible games this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we split 1-1. I think both teams significantly improved in the offseason. I don't know, dude. Lamar's just that dude. Like, are teams finally going to figure out how to keep him in the pocket? Like, if teams can figure out how to keep him in the pocket, I don't think that he is that great of a quarterback. I just don't think
it's more of like, and then can he learn to throw from the pocket? Because we know what he does outside, it's spectacular.
Like he's so athletic. He's a running back at the quarterback position who is a average thrower. If he could ever become a above average to elite thrower of the football, he's the best quarterback in the league.
I liked a couple of years ago, there was actually, this is probably 5 years ago. I think this is the season he won the Heisman at Louisville. But you know how fucking ESPN and SportsCenter just overhype absolutely everything, and they'll take like a snapshot of an insane play, and then they'll put like a former player's quote and everything. So that year that Lamar won the Heisman at Louisville, I mean, he was fucking insane. It was awesome to watch. Vic said he was better than me. I mean, that's coming from a lot. And I only used Michael Vick because they kind of have similar playing styles. Lamar's taller. I think he doesn't have quite a strong arm as Vic.
No, Vic was a way better thrower of the football.
But elusiveness, I think I might give it to Lamar. No, I agree. Sure. And they're going to go as far as he can carry them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because their defense is good enough to beat anybody.
Yeah. It's a tough division. It's bad. It is. I'm happy because there was like this weird phase of getting out of Flacco and then everything. But 16-1 though. I want to transition to a different bet. 16-1 odds. Put down the biasy glasses, the biasy bifocals.
Talk to me, baby.
Put down the fandom. On a real note, I mean, at plus 1,600, I mean, you're going to cash in. I'm just not sold. I think Cleveland can make a really big step. And this is without meeting Baker Mayfield. Technically, I didn't meet shit. You met Baker Mayfield. You seem to have, a decent pulse on this training camp and some of these offseason stories. Sterling Sharp Sterling Shepard got in a fight with one of your
he doesn't want that smoke.
Defenders. I mean, Dale, talk to me. You got Baker's in a contract here, which I really salute Andrew Berry for not succumbing to the media pressure and fan pressure that you hear where they want to re-sign him. Go out and earn it. I think he makes some huge strides, considering the past, right? When you guys were a doorstep and you had Pittsburgh continuously just walk all over you. You beat him in the playoffs last year. You have Ben. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time with the Steelers, but what, 18th season now?
Yep.
What do we got from the Browns?
Listen, we have everything from the Browns, but we saw last year the offense is as good as any in the league. We have a lethal running attack with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Dearness Johnson, who people forget, but our third string running back was a top 25 in efficiency running back in the league last year. So given the opportunities, he's shown that he can carry a workload as well. But our defense is going to take us as far as we can go. If we have a top 5 defense, we can beat anybody in the league. If our defense is like it was last year, then we're going to struggle again just because we're not going to be able to stop anybody. And then we're going to have to go win shootouts. And do we really want to win shootouts? Love Baker, trust Baker with my life. I will let him go win me a 46-42 ball game. But that is not the style that Kevin Stefanski and company wants to play ever. I think we're going to run a lot more dime this year and nickel. I think Joe Woods, our defensive coordinator, said he wanted to run over 4,400 snaps in nickel last year, and he was only able to run 16 snaps due to personnel gaps. As you know, remember Andrew Sinejo no longer on the team. Our DBs are much upgraded, so we'll see. I love the odds plus 1,600. Sheesh.
Yeah, I would consider, I don't know the odds from the division off the top of my head. That's something that I would consider teasing. Super Bowl, kind of agree. I think, yeah, you painted it out pretty well there.
The division's plus 150.
See, that's kind of enticing. Because you look at the Steelers, like, I'm not even going to factor in the Bengals. I feel bad for Joe Burrow. I mean, think about in the last 2 years, he was on top of the world. And then in the matter of 2 years, has a catastrophic knee injury, had to have reconstructive surgery. Went to a team that's not really suited to help him like be successful.
Yep. And
there was a pandemic. You have the Steelers, who I mentioned with Big Ben. I mean, he's a marathon man, I guess, at this point. Year 18, pretty impressive. Offensive line shaky. They drafted Najee Harris. Are they going to run him to the ground? Is he going to be?
I think Najee's going to be good. I think Najee's going to be good.
I don't know if it was the Hall of Fame game in that spectacular video that you sent me before the game that kind of hyped me up, because I'm starting to see a lot of stuff on Najee Harris. I think the biggest thing is the O-line, because I think as far as he can help is what will help Ben, which will help the Steelers. I mean, defensively too, Minka Fitzpatrick, I mean, that's the most notable name on the other side of the ball. Plus 150 for Cleveland to win the division. I could tease that.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot too. But let's go south, AFC South. There's only one team here, Will, that I really want to spend any time on, and that's going to be the Tennessee Titans.
Houston Texans. Okay.
Yeah, no. I think that the clear second place team in this division will end up being the Indianapolis Colts, and I think that is with or without Carson Wentz. But Houston, Jacksonville, they're both dumpster fires right now, so we'll leave them at the bottom. But Tennessee, they went out, got Julio this offseason. Ryan Tannehill seems to be improving every year he's been there. They still have Derrick Henry. Defense has seemed to improve a little bit with offseason signings and drafts. What do you think here? Tennessee, can they make a playoff run? They're plus 2,000 to win the Super Bowl.
Tennessee is one of those just meat and potatoes teams. I don't know if that's because of Mike Vrabel and all the
That's a Vrabel
headlines.
Thing, for sure.
From him saying he wants to cut his dick off to win a Super Bowl a couple years ago on one of these podcasts I was listening to, or I was listening to his soundbite yesterday. He's just so candid. The Titans had a shitty day of practice, and one of the media questions that I used for the site to find all of these pressers, he's like, we played like shit, like we sucked. It was hilarious. And he's going to put out what's on his mind. But yes, I do agree. I think that is a product of how Vrabel is, which essentially he's an olive branch off of Bill Belichick. So, yeah, you nailed it. You said they got Julio Jones. I still think he has some in the tank. He's one of those, it's always a flip of the coin, right? You have an older, veteran that you think, does a change of scenery help? Or have we seen the best of him already? We're just going to watch House of Highlights and NFL throwback of his rookie year, because that's all they like doing.
Yeah.
I think, dude, I really like Derrick Henry. He's led the league in carries, yards the last few seasons. I think from a fantasy perspective too, I'm so excited for fantasy, by the way. Can he uphold it again? I mean, Remember in Alabama? I think he had a time with their Ohio State Buckeyes for a little bit. He would get better as the game progressed. And he was playing in colder weather games last year where you thought, okay, he has to give at some point. And he was like a snowplow going through like a giant storm. Like nothing impaired him. I liked him for that. The other like interesting headline, like you said, I think is how bad the Houston Texans are going to be. Now, I'm not spending any more time on that, but plus 30,000.
I mean, they're not going to be good.
Deshaun Watson. I mean, they're going to be. I don't. What is our win total set at? Do we bet the under? Are they going to go 1-15? Like, what if it was set like at 1.5 and we bet the under?
It could.
It could
hit.
And then look,
I've seen wilder things.
You've seen a winless thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got to give you, Dale.
I've seen 2 years with the under there. I was a season ticket holder for 2 years of that under.
I gotta give you credit for how resilient and still loyal you are, because that is tough. And it's not like you were in San Diego where the weather's warm. You were probably in some ass cold games, drunk as hell, to where you probably got pissed every time you had to go take a leak because you were finally snuggled up in a warm position in the stadium to watch your team lose. I give it to you. So a round of applause. And then Jaguars.
It was almost like you were there with me.
Yeah, I just know you too well. Trevor Lawrence, I guess, biggest storyline. We know Gardner Minshew isn't playing. Is Urban Meyer going to have a stroke on the sideline this year because he can't control all these players and the fact that they have wives and children and mortgages and private school to pay for? I don't know. Maybe bet some money on Rookie of the Year for Lawrence, but look out for the Titans. They were up on the Chiefs, 2 years ago? They were up 10-0 in the AFC title game, and just lack of experience. I don't know if I'm sold on Ryan Tannehill. For them to take the division, slap some money on it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and we'll end here. AFC East, Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots, Miami Dolphins. Those three teams, well, all three I think are going to be much improved on last year, including Buffalo, who already had a great year. Josh Allen got paid. He got his extension. Do you think Buffalo can repeat in the AFC East, or will Miami or New England get it done?
Okay, so conventional wisdom wants to tell me that I should choose the Bills. And again, this is a product of media. I'm drinking a lot of the Kool-Aid because that's the only thing that I'm seeing across Twitter, across every network that I watch. I like Josh Allen. I really do. And I watched him when he was in the Mountain West and when he would fucking tear up my Aztecs. And you thought, me and you talked about this, I think last year, 2 years ago, we just were saying, and this is said 1,000 times already, you can't improve accuracy, man. Like it's like speed and height. You got it or you don't. You can complete passes and have touch on the ball, or you don't. Because don't get me wrong, the arm strength, like was the Madden, he has like a 99. He throw it 85 yards, whatever. It was those really intricate routes, intermediate routes. I got to give him credit, man. He worked hard. I want to take the Bills. I do. I think the next question for them, how does Allen get better? I love the defense, even though it's been kind of questionable, some of the picks they've taken defensively, especially on the front seven. Can they be the class? It's how do they stack up against Mahomes? And in 2 games last year, they never beat him. And honestly, Allen kind of shrunk.
Let's start with their division. Do you think they're going to win their own division?
No, 100%. I was talking
100%. You said 100% because I think there's a chance that they could come in third.
I don't want to discredit Miami, and I'll get into New England in just a second. As much as I love the New York Jets too. No, I'm just joking. They're another one, plus 25,000. They're another train wreck. I've never been. I don't know why. I don't know why I've not been sold on Zach Wilson. And the fact that
I'm not either.
They're so
You're hearing
sold
nothing
on them.
about
They don't have a better dude. You can't even unless you're a diehard blogger for like the Jets or a beat writer. You do not know who the backup quarterback is, and they're fucked if Zach Wilson gets hurt. That's it on the Jets. Look, the Dolphins. Year 2 for Tua. I like Brian Flores.
I love him.
Right?
Yeah, I love him.
I mean, you look at. We've seen the success of Mike Vrabel, who played and was bred from the New England system, aka the master Bill Belichick. Now you have Flores
and Ohio State.
Of course, there you go. There's a tie. I mean, you're saying the Bills could be in third because I can pivot to New England really fast. I wrote it down. The biggest question. I want to say I would put money on Cam to start the season. I think
I don't trust Mac.
Listen,
Cam played so good last year until he got COVID.
Yeah, I think he was hurt.
Give him give him this offseason a healthy Cam, knock on wood, I think will be electric with the Patriots this year.
Yeah. I would say electric. And also, Dale, look at all the offseason signings that they did. When the hell, other than last season, has New England ever forked open their piggy bank and said, let's pay some big players? Johnny Smith,
this
Hunter
is
Henry.
Bill Belichick coming back with a fucking vengeance here. Like, I'm calling it. Like, I just picture him in his evil lair, plotting against everybody that he could potentially play, in his hoodie with his dog by his side, just going to fucking work. And they're going to come out this year and do things that we've never seen, arguably, I think.
Also, I think we had an episode last summer. There was, 6 or 7 players that sat out or elected to sit out because of COVID. They're all back. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I genuinely think that there's a chance that, I mean, think about it this way. Buffalo goes 1-3 against those teams. They're not going to win the division. And that's realistic. I'm
still not sold on Miami, again, until I see Tua. I think we can leave it at that. So it's a two-headed race now, right? You have New England, you have Buffalo. I think Buffalo, I'm going to ride the high and I'm going to ride the wave of Josh Allen. He's just going to get better, right? So that's what we're on right now. Now he can come down and crash and be all about it. I do like that idea, though. But I think I would wager some money on Buffalo winning the division. The only thing that I'd be kind of scared about is that, look, New England, Bill. Remember on the draft when his dog, you mentioned his dog, Nike, when it panned him and his dog are scheming in that evil lair in his fucking shitty fashion, which is hilarious because he does not give one fuck. It's like Larry David. Nope. What I would be worried about too, if I'm in the AFC, is if they kind of hang around all season, right? And let's just assume that the Buffalo Bills, take care of business, they win the division. I do not want to play New England as a wild card team. That's just Belichick is made for that. And that's how he built his fucking craft. Because no one knew who Brady was before their whole thing started. So I think I'll still wager money on Buffalo to win the division. Now, Super Bowl, I don't know. I don't know if they can get past KC.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think Buffalo wins the division. I think New England comes in second. I think Miami comes in third. I was just playing devil's advocate. I can just realistically see a situation in this division where Buffalo does come in third.
I would think there would have to be some injuries. It's really hard to believe with the significant progress that Josh Allen made that he would regress that much. Or like if he got injured. Now, if he gets injured, that's a completely different story. You have Mitch Trubisky as the backup who's trying to
that's a solid backup, though.
I like it. I think that's important. I think to have a good recipe for a Super Bowl, you got to have a decent starting or backup quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, dude, if you look at the Bills' schedule, they have to play the Titans, they have to play the Colts, Panthers. That's not an easy game. Falcons aren't going to be an easy game. Jets, they're going to mollywop. They play the Bucks. They play the Saints. They don't have an easy schedule at all. Even Washington and Pittsburgh are tough games.
We're not in the NFC yet. Speaking of Washington, I don't know why. I don't know if it's Ron Rivera. I don't know if it's that young defense. They have Fitzmagic now. And the NFC East is a fucking joke, especially if Dak doesn't play. God. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm not discrediting the schedule at all. I think it's a gauntlet. But
it is. They have a tough schedule.
If they can navigate the storm and get through. Yeah, exactly. Now, can Allen win MVP? I don't know. That's those numbers he put last year. Definitely hard to duplicate.
We'll find out. I'm excited. All right, guys. Well, that is the AFC breakdown. We're going to end on this. Who is your pick to win the AFC? Who's going to make the Super Bowl?
God, this really pains me to say. What is it? Plus 250 for the Chiefs? I'm obviously going to lean Kansas City. Now, barring some catastrophic injury, we know that Travis Kelce shaved his fucking beard. And he just looks like a normal citizen now, not an all-pro stud. Tyreek Hill, he's chilled out. Out of trust the Andy Reid Mahomes thing. At plus 250, I guess I got to go Kansas City, right? I think San Diego of Los Angeles County can really challenge them this year. The biggest thing for them would be offensive line stability and the progress of Justin Herbert. But man, Kansas City. I think I'm going to do it. I put some money down on it. And it's really not surprising because I feel like that's going to be a lot of people. But can Mahomes, is he going to be just the next golden child of the NFL? Probably, unfortunately.
I hate that.
Who do you got? Who do you got?
Listen, after years,
gosh, I know where this is going.
Years and years and years of misery, heartbreak, tears, beers, quarterbacks, everything. At plus 750 to the plus 800 range, depending on what book you look at. America's team.
8-1.
America's football team. The Cleveland Browns are going to make it out of the AFC this year. It's just the year. Like, I don't think I'm being a homer. I think we have the best, most all-around offense in football.
That's a homer pick.
Hold on. This is America's pick, Will. I'm doing
According
the job
to Jim
of the
Rome.
American. I am doing the job of the American citizens right now. As long as the defense can stay healthy, between the front end with Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett, and the back end with John Johnson and Denzel Ward, to the linebackers with JOK and Anthony Walker. This team has every tool that it takes to win the AFC. It is hard to win the AFC 3 times in a row. Can Kansas City do it? I don't know, but odds are not on their side when it comes to that. I think this year, someone other than Kansas City makes it out. Am I saying Kansas City won't make it out again? No, not at all. That team's going to be really fucking good for a very long time. But I don't think they make it out 3 years in a row. Plus 750, Cleveland Browns.
Well, if the Chiefs do, they'd be the first team since the Patriots to make it out 3 straight years. I do agree. It's extremely challenging to not only do it once, not repeat, but 3 times get out of the conference. Dale, I don't know, man. Sounds like a homer pick, but if you want to die on that hill and ride it out, put some money on it and wager it, plus 700 for Cleveland to win the AFC conference. Let's see what happens. We're going to
see what happens. Guys, we'll be back soon, though, with the NFC preview, betting preview. Williams, good to see you as always. He is, by the day, turning more and more into a Zoni. So we'll see what happens when I see him soon. Love all of you. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to give us a follow at WTM Daily, at JP25 Media, at Will Galvez, at Arendelle _. See you guys soon.